Here today we're going to look at the Smith & Wesson Model 632. Just like the one you see on my hip right now. How cool is that old .32 caliber? Let's see if it will fire. You want to? Oh, I bet it will. Why? He's 6 times not bad. I kind of like that little thing. Wow, wish I had. To I do. Let's go down here and address something else. One to like that guy. All right, I sprayed the stop sign. Yeah, now I hit T. The stop sign. Boom. Cowboy. Yep, that's what we have. We have a couple of these things, so 2 is always better than 1, right? So we're going to talk about the 632 UC. What's UC stand for? University of CI. The Sonati no stands for ultimate carry. You saw the hopefully the video we did with the 38 special ultimate carry, the 642. It's right here, by the way, have some different grips on it, but that is it, the 642 ultimate carry. And this is the old school ultimate. Well, it's the ultimate, but it's a 642 standard. Okay, the old version. So today though, we're going to look at the other 632. Now this is Eve and simpler because the model number tells you what caliber it is. 32 hander Magnum. You can shoot 32 hander long 32 Smith & Wesson, and you know all the shorter cartridges. Of course I was shooting long, right? They're okay. 32. You may not know much about 32. Well, don't expect me to tell you because I don't know nothing about it myself. No, I do. I've learned enough lately that I am very interested in it, and other T's why I own these 632s myself. Yes, as well as a 642. So the main one. This is the regular 632 ultimate carry that you know. It's the topic of the video, but I happen to have the same gun with a titanium cylinder, all right, for carry, and so give you a little additional insight. Maybe you're looking at this as an option and you would like to know if there's enough difference to think about the titanium cylinder, and maybe I can give you some insight into that, and maybe I cannot. Who knows? A grip. So this one comes, the titanium version comes with the hammery forge, which is what's on here. And that's what I ordered, as I told you, for the 642. I think I like those. I think I'm going to settle on them. I'm not sure yet. No grips have enough friction for me. You know the old deal. So I have to add some sandpaper tape to it. Talon grips tape, and that feels good, and I like the contour of it. So, and they're lighter than the CC grips, the G10s that came on the original. You see this nubbies, and so I like the lighter weight, and I like the feel of it. It's got all the meat in the right place, and I generally have to take care of the friction issue myself anyway, or whatever grips I have. So there you go. I'm still in the process of deciding what grips I like the best, so you all understand that that's just a personal thing with various people. So before we shoot them again, let me thank the people that help us, like Davidson's Gallery of Guns, where you get a guaranteed lifetime replacement on your firearms. So check them out. Great supporter of the channel. Silencer Central make the best suppressors in the business, and you've seen them here quite often, haven't you? In Operation the Sonner and Desert Institute. Eddie, you get yourself some distance learning and firearms, you know, education, technology, gunsmithing, drone technology. Check them out. Now you'll also see while I'm talking about it some of these fine lit that I already have Alabama holsters. I use their pocket holsters for these wonderful little J-frames, and even the flapjack holster that I'm wearing on my belt is an Alabama holster. So we appreciate their support of the channel, and of course I used them, as you know, long before they were supporter of the channel. And so what about this gun? I went through the improvements, I think, in the 642 you see again ultimate carry, so I'll probably abbreviate that occasionally. So do you see guns, the new ones, and these started coming out in 24, and they're coming out now with the titanium versions and 25 of the various improvements over the regular standard 642s and snubbies, as we talked about. Again, briefly, you have much better. Sight's got a notch back there, a sight that actually you can find, and the front sight is excess tritium got your green eye. Mean it really pops out at you. You know some people may not like it. But it's very quick to pick up, and it works pretty well, and, oh, what else, why? We got a little different finish here on some of the the cylinder latch, things like that, you got what else you've got shrouded ejector rod onto the UC models, you have titanium ins, and on all of the UC models. Right, not just the titanium model, and what else they've gone through it and they have reworked it, and the action is supposedly geometrically better, and all that it has a better action. It's a little smoother, a little lighter, but yet it still seems reliable. Okay, they've chaired the chambers a little, but not much, you barely can barrel. Why, see, that beveled to the front of the cylinder a little bit. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think what else. I've went over this in the first video, but it's they're nicely done. They did the things, they brought about the improvements that were welcomed and you could say needed right a pretty good with the under the advisement and consultation of some really serious revolve are people like Brian Eastridge and Daryl Bocchia, with tons of experience with revolvers, competition-wise, and carrying them, police work and training and all that kind of thing, and they done good. They done good. They added the things, they changed the things that make sense in my opinion. Okay, not just things to make them pretty or to sell better. Okay, so these are pretty, and I see it's always hard to get the grips right for everybody. You see here I've got for 4 of my favorites, and they all have something a little bit different about the grips. Well, I guess these two don't. They both have the hammery forge grips, but I changed even out the G10 grips that came on this. Well, did they came on this one. They're the larger ones, and they were to small oath for me, and these have a little more grip action, the more friction, so I like these, but I kind of like the size of the originals or of these a little bit better, but I'll keep experimenting with that and see what we think. So yeah, this is the 32 version. The 632, if you were thinking of a snub, there's something worth looking at, right? And these are Lipsy specials, of course, but you're available, and there's something worth looking at if you're thinking about a Snub's revolver. It's hard to beat the old basics. There's must be 100 variations. Oh, if the Smith & Wesson Snub's revolvers, the Snubbies in 38, 32, 22, whatever, and so many different variations of them, and scandium and aluminum and steel, and you name it, I've had a lot of them. I've had this one for over 25 years, and I've always liked them. They're great for backup, they're great for primary carry. I think if you're a civilian, but you might not have thought about the 32, and I'm not here today to sell you 132. There are some people who might do that, really knowledgeable, experienced experts that might successfully sell you on the 32-hander Magnum, talking ballistics and just everything about them, shootability, or really something you might want to look at. I am very pleased with it. I'm going to shoot some, and I'm experimenting with MLA as well. That there's a number of people that are carrying one of these to 32s right now as we speak, or an older 32 with wad cutters. And there's been a lot of experimentation and testing, and let's just shoot a couple wad cutters you want to. These are buffalo board I bought, and I've got them in different weights and different UH configurations. These are wide cutters. They punch a what do you woe? But you say a round hole doesn't every bullet punch a round hole? They punch a pretty hole. So this is the standard one. The only real difference between these to the grips, other than grips read the cylinder. Okay, let me just load the same ammo in both of them, and I'll shoot them both again if you're considering this or the 38 or whatever maybe you'd be interested in, if how much difference there is in recoil between the titanium version and the non-titanium version, so we might just do our usual testing here like we're known to do occasionally and shoot them both, and I'll lay on something too. Of course I got different grips on them. I'm just going to shoot to start with from each one. Okay, so this is the heavier one, and this is by the way 3 ounces heavier he one with the stainless steel cylinder, so the titanium takes off about 3 ounces. Okay, alright, let's just shoot at something like the tombstone down there, and because I'm going to focus mainly on music, recoil. Okay, those are pretty stout rounds. Okay, this is a titanium with the same music ammo. Alright, I guess it felt a little more recoil, but I couldn't tell a lot of difference. They both UMP around bit. I'll shoot the first one again. Bowling music. Can I try the other one? How about it too? Alright, there. Okay, so this would case a little more. 3 ounces does make a difference. However, if I had to go to battle right now, I think I'd rather go with this one because the grips give me more support. Felt better, just felt better than this one. Of these grips again have pretty nice friction, but they're smaller, so yeah, these grips are pretty nice. And these are what are they? Standard pressure 3 to H. Yeah, it's H&R Magnum. Okay, so they're different from just the 32 longs. Okay, now a lot of the penetration tests in terms of meeting the FBI standards, there's been a lot of success with just the longs, not even going to the 32 H&R Magnum, easily and over penetration. I guess I don't know, but that's your choice. But anyway, there's a lot of good ammo being made now, and if you weren't familiar with wad cutters, that's what that is. It cuts a nice round hole, and guess what? With a handgun, that's what you're doing. Defensively, you're just punching holes, so that's interesting. Triggers are nice on these things, since I got empties in T. Here they serve as snap caps, kind of. Yep, pretty nice. You want to fire these double action, right? It's highly advisable if you're going to shoot. Pretty funny how yeah, these feel like good. So 32 caliber. I'll shoot some of this one more time. I got some double tap I bought, and that's a hard cast, so 120 grain 50. That's some pretty warm stuff. I'm not going to hunt bears, so I don't need that, but I wanted to try at some point. The beauty of these is that you don't need really hot Magnum ammo for them to be very effective, and what they do, and of course you get 6 rounds over 5. That's another advantage. Less recoil and a 6 rounds, so and really not giving up. Effectiveness, generally speaking, depends on how you look at it or do some research. What do bullets do, and how many? Tell me about how many hollow points you're aware of that are going to open up coming out of a 188-inch barrel. How many hollow points coming out of a snubby are going to do what a hollow point needs to do for it to be worthwhile, right? Okay, so I'm going to shoot them again. I should do. Well, shouldn't I? Why don't we just do that? What the heck, yeah. I only live once. Let's go down here to this tombstone. All right, to revolvers is always better than one, right? Let's go. Well, let's just alternate. Let's do it that way, Dan. Now let's not alternate. Let's just shoot. I'm sorry, I can't resist playing. We'll go back up to the table. I'll walk my camera guy backwards. It's good exercise for him, good practice, or he walks backwards better than I walk forward. So anyway, 22, that's a good-looking brace of pistol. Isn't it a 32? So the 632 again, just make you aware of it. We've talked about and shown you the 642 and the ultimate carry of these are, I think, really, really nice snub nose revolvers, and a lot of people would agree with me there. They're not crazy expensive either for what you get with them. The custom features 'em, and of course, you got all your various grip options. Possibilities, I've exercised a few of those. I have Hogue, I have CZ, a G10 grips, I have a Hamry Forge, what else have I had on them? I've had the standard Smith & Wesson grips that come on them, and it seemed like I've had some. Of course I had he larger CZ grips on it, the G10s that came on this on the 38, but that's a personal preference thing. In terms of titanium, like I say, you get a 3-ounce lighter firearm, and in 32 it's still very shootable. Now I don't know if you want to shoot the hottest magnums or even need to think about that in terms of defense, or so it's plenty controllable with the titanium cylinder, giving up those 3 ounces, I think, and that's the choice I made at any rate, right? So, and how I like it, I mean, you can have it in a belt holster, this thing, why? No, it weighs nothing, you don't know you have it, and you got 6 rounds that are pretty effective, 6 rounds that are effective and more reliable probably than 22, although 22 is pretty reliable these days, as you get good ammo, right? And or you can put it in a pocket holster. Do I have one in my pocket, and I took it out? It's this one right here, I guess, and you just don't know you have it because it just doesn't weigh much, and when you take 3 ounces off a firearm that's already pretty light and small, that's pretty advantageous, for me anyway, as long as you can still hoot it. But anyway, the 6.3 to happen to have both variations of it, tie and non-tie, stainless steel and tie, and I like them both a lot. I'm very pleased with them. So in terms of negatives, I don't know, other than trying to figure out what grips I want. I've not discovered any negatives yet. Okay, and it must be semi-positive or I wouldn't own 2 of them. But once I get my grips figured out, each grips I like the best, I'll really be happy, and I'm pretty well satisfied with those. So the 632, I forget to tell you anything other than a lot of the stuff like usual. I knew what I was going to shoot, and I didn't do it. That's okay. I got some high desert cartridge ammo I bought, and that again, that's can I shoot that for you all? Run, let me just load them real quick. I want to try that. Yeah, I don't think I've shot a couple of them, and these are longs, right? Let me see. Smith & Wesson long and a 98 grain wad cutter. Okay, and believe it or not, I know the T seems like a little bitty bullet to you, but this is what a lot of folks are going to, just a 30 to Smith & Wesson long wide cutter, and the testing shows they are pretty good, and in fact they will smock a pot if you hit it. Yeah, what I tell you, they'll even bowl yell that the leader didn't get eaten up. Yeah, I like those, so I won't keep it any longer. But just so you're aware, there is such an all as a 32 hander Magnum. You don't have to shoot the magnums in it, but 32 caliber in a handy little pocket pistol or belt pistol, however you want to carry it. So the 6.32 ultimate carry is that a little ambitious to name something the ultimate carry? I guess it is, but it's pretty nice, and it might be in terms of the snub nose revolvers, especially Smith & Wesson. It might be the best they've ever offered. You really could be the ultimate. Life is good. Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there a while. I've got you here. I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistal. Talon Grips makes a grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. Used sticks right on there, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles or so. Please check them out at talonungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And